Today we are going to read Bambi. Bambi. Early one spring morning of the quiet of the woods was broken by a thump 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 thumping sound. It was Thumper the rabbit, loudly thumping his foot on a log. Wake up, Thumper cried. The new prince of the forest has been born. The animals all followed Thumper to a thicket where a doe nestled with her sleeping fawn. Congratulations, the owl said to the mother deer. This is a very special day. The mother deer gently nudged the fawn. Wake up, she said. Meet your new friends. The fawn tried to stand on his new legs. Look, he's getting up, Thumper cried, hoping to watch. Kind of wobbly, isn't he? He remarked. Before long, the fawn was up on all four legs. He peeked through his legs to look at Thumper. What are you going to call him? Thumper asked. I will call him Bambi, the doe said. Bambi seemed to like his name. Bambi and Thumper soon became best friends. Every day, Thumper taught Bambi something new about the forest. Those are birds, Thumper told Bambi one day. Say bird. Bird. Bambi shouted, frightening away all the little creatures of the forest. You did it, Thumper laughed. You can talk. Bambi was very proud of himself. He wanted to try again. That is a butterfly, Thumper explained. And those pretty things are flowers. Just then, a little black and white face poked out of the flower patch. Flower, Bambi said. You can call me Flower if he wants to, said the skunk. I don't mind. The spring turned into summer. One warm day, Bambi's mother said, follow me. We are going to the meadow. What's the meadow? Bambi asked. His mother said, it is a grass and room to run. And you can play with some other deer there. Thumper told me there were other deer in the forest, but I've never seen any, Bambi said. He couldn't wait to meet them. At the edge of the woods, Bambi could see an open space with waving grass. He was about to run out when his mother stopped him. Bambi, wait. You must always be sure that the meadow is safe before you run out, she told him. The meadow is wide open, so we have to be very careful. Bambi's mother made sure that the meadow was safe. She called Bambi out of hiding. What fun Bambi had at the meadow. He and Thumper chased a frog into a pond. The frog croaked and jumped into the water. Bambi bent down to have a drink of the cool water. He saw another little fawn's face join his in the reflection. Who is this? He wondered. Bambi ran to find his mother. This is Feline, his mother told him. Do you want to play? Feline asked Bambi. He nodded. So the two fawns began chasing each other around the meadow. Bambi and Feline quickly became friends. Suddenly, all became still on the meadow. Bambi and Feline looked up. A strong deer with large antlers was walking slowly toward them. The young prince stared at the great buck. The buck turned his head and looked at Bambi kindly. Then he continued on his way into the woods. Bambi and his mother watched him go. Who is he? Bambi whispered to his mother. He is your father. Bambi's mother answered. The great prince of the forest. Summer turned into autumn. The days grew shorter, and soon golden leaves began to fall from the trees. The wind swept across the meadow, and the icy water of the stream made Bambi shiver. Winter was coming. Bambi woke up one morning to see the forest had turned white. What's all this white stuff? He asked. It's snow, his mother explained. Winter has come. Bambi snapped out of his den. Plop. A big pile of snow landed right on his head. Come on, called Thumper. Let's go sliding on the stiff water. The two friends hurried to the pond. Whee! Thumper laughed as he slid across the ice. Bambi tried to follow him. Crash! Down he fell on the slippery ice. You have to keep both ends up at the same time, Thumper explained, trying to help. Thumper gave Bambi a push, and the little deer slipped and slid across the pond until he landed right outside of Flower's den. Bambi and Thumper wanted the little skunk to play with them. No thanks, I'll see you in the spring, Flower said with a yawn. He always slept right through winter. The snow had covered the plants on the ground, and Bambi and the other deer had a hard time finding food. The little fawn didn't like eating the chewy bark from the trees, but there was nothing else to eat. Winter sure is long, Bambi sighed. He missed the soft green grass. I think there might be some grass at the meadow, Bambi's mother said. Let's go and see. Bambi was nibbling on some tender grass when his mother raised her head. She sensed that there was danger nearby. Suddenly, his mother cried, Run, Bambi, run! The little fawn hurried in a thunderous noise as he dashed through the woods safely. He reached the thicket, but his mother wasn't behind him any longer. Mother! He cried. Then Bambi's father came out the woods. Your mother cannot be with you any longer. Now you must be brave. Come, my son, the great prince said. So Bambi followed him into the snowy woods. At last the sun warmed the earth. The flowers bloomed, and the tiny birds began to sing happy songs once more. Oh my, yawned the owl. It seems that spring is here again. Oh. Bambi and his friends had grown up over the winter. I suppose you will all be twitterpated now. that spring is here, Owl told them. What does that mean? They asked. You will fall in love, the owl said. Just wait and see. Owl was right. Flower met a pretty girl skunk. Thumper flirted with a sweet girl rabbit. And when Pauline saw Bambi, she gave him a big kiss. They were Twitter-pated. Bambi and Pauline still liked to go to the meadow together, but instead of playing tag, they walked quietly side by side. One morning, Bambi woke up to a strange smell in the night. He left Pauline and climbed a mountain where he was met by his father. The two deer saw a stream of smoke, of rising smoke from the woods below. Fire. Pauline woke up and began to search for Bambi. The smell of smoke was stronger now. Suddenly, a group of dogs began to chase her. Pauline was trapped by the growling pack of dogs, but then Bambi raced to rescue her. Bambi lowered his head and drove the dogs away with his pointed antlers. Run, Pauline, he shouted. The young doe jumped across the cliff safely. Bambi leaped across the cliff to follow Pauline. He reached the other side, but the young prince was hurt. A thick cloud of smoke moved closer and closer. Bambi heard a familiar voice. Get up, Bambi, the fire is almost here. It was the great prince of the forest. Bambi struggled to his feet. The two deer raced out the forest to escape the terrible fire. Bambi and his father came to the river. Bambi closed his eyes and jumped, soaring over the waterfall. They were safe. All the forest creatures had gathered on the island in the middle of the river. Pauline rushed over to Bambi. They sadly watched the forest burn. But the fire did not destroy the forest completely. By next spring, the trees were green again. Thump, thump, thump. Thumper was calling the animals to the forest. Come and see, he shouted. Thumper and Flower and their children hurried over to see Pauline beside her side. By her side, blinking in the sunlight, were two tiny fawns. Prince Bambi must be very proud, said Owl. Owl was once right again. For Bambi stood proudly overwatching his new family as the new great prince of the forest. The end.